Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video. We are out here taking a walk in the park. So something I noticed about those people who those muhajirin, or those people who yunawi, to make hijrah. They intend to make hijrah to the UAE. When they hear about certain things that go on, or the Muslims having sins, then they make statements like, well, if that's over there, then I might as well just stay in the West. Now, the sad thing is, if the only thing that's keeping you out of the West is sins, and would make you leave the Muslim country is sins, then you in big trouble, because it's much bigger than that. There's not a place on earth except that there are human beings, and human beings have sins. Okay? We're not talking about full-on corruption. We're talking about shortcomings, sins that people do that have always existed, no matter what time period. Just read the books of Imam al-Dhahabi, Ibn al-Qayyim, Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah. You read the books of the Salaf. They have incidents. They write down history, what was going on with the people, what they fell into. So there's no such thing as an Islamic utopia. Okay? There's no such thing as a perfect Muslim existence. Okay? What you should be running from is Kufr and Shirk, disbelief and polytheism. The different beliefs and ideologies that we are plagued with in the West, that you don't even realize you're plagued with, and I ask Allah to allow those who, when they make hijrah, that they're not just running from homosexuality, because those are just from, homosexuality is just the ugly fruit that came from the tree that we were nourished upon. Okay, the tree and the roots, that's what y'all need to work on uprooting when you come. Turn that tree over, dig it up, cut it down, and start new with the tree of Iman and the roots of Iman. But sins all over the place, and that's actually the topic of the video. The Muslims from a Muslim country are looking for a utopia in the Muslim world, which doesn't exist. And in the Western world, the Muslims from a Muslim country are looking for a utopia in the West, a dunyawi utopia. They think that politically and nizam, system-wise, everything is good, it's quace. They already have their Islam, so they want security, stability like the West has. But they don't know that comes with a cost, that they compromise a lot. They compromise morals. They let any and everything happen so that they don't stir up any trouble, because if you start getting into morality and religion, then the Westerners are going to fight. They're going to have abruptions. So there's another side to that security and stability that you see there. It's because it's a trade-off. You got to let people do whatever they want to do in order to have stability and security. But it's really not security and stability now, is it? Now, we know better. All the corruption that goes on due to them not having any morality laws. They don't have any religious laws that they go by. So the Muslims don't know all of the details of what goes into that. They're just looking from the outside looking in, looking for a dunyawi utopia, shakl-wise, it relates to how it portrays itself to be. They don't have any obvious civil wars and, upturning of the society, but that can change in a millisecond, actually. And then you have the Muslims from the West who only want to come to the East if there is seemingly perfect Islam like is being practiced or portray to be practiced in the communities in the West. So you're in a box in the West that they pushed you in, community boxes. They push religion in a box, right? Because of secular societies. You go and practice your little Sharia or whatever. Actually, you're not. But go and practice your little parts of your religion, as long as you're not having an impact on greater society. And where everyone follows the rules, seemingly, because that's not reality either. And, there's brotherhood, seemingly, and all of that stuff. So, coming from those subcultures, sub-religious cultures in the West, you think that the Muslim world should be like that. But this is a whole world. It's a Muslim world, society. It's different than being a subculture under a wider, judicial system that is secular. You can't expect everyone to just be like it is, behave like they behave in a community. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. People are going to be people. You don't embrace everybody. You're cautious of people. All of the rules that go in America or in the West where you're from, you don't let everybody in your house. I'm talking about from the greater society. You don't let everyone in your house. You don't walk and talk with everybody. You're conscious and cautious. There are people who, don't want good. It's the same way you have to be when you're in a Muslim country. You can't just let your guard down now and just think that everything is just perfect. And I know people don't think it's perfect, but you cannot give up on the Muslim country for the mere fact that you cannot behave. You don't get the same behavior, sentiments, and embracing like one would in a community. It's not the same. It's a world. It's a society, not a community. So don't look for an Islamic utopia. And unfortunately, like I said, the Muslims, they're looking for a dunyawi utopia. That's why when you tell them, oh no, don't go to the West, the sins, they're looking like, what? It's corruption everywhere. What are you talking about? You want to tell me not to go to the West because of corruption? They have their own stories. They know what goes on. They know to be wary of certain people. They know characteristics of certain individuals and certain factions of people that you're supposed to be aware of. So that's not enough. The tamyiz, or the differentiation between your allegiance and disallegiance, hate and love, must be, the median has to be kufr and shirk. Your hate for kufr and shirk and your love for Tawheed. That's what it has to be. That's what it has to be. No matter what. I'm in it. I love the Muslims because of their Tawheed. And I hate the disbelieving lands because of their disbelief. And that doesn't mean because I hate them, you hate them and you hate disbelief and polytheism in your heart. It doesn't mean that you're a terrorist. It doesn't mean you have to wage war against them. But you have to hate it, though. You have to hate what Allah hates. So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And not the fact that people commit sins. Because if that's your measurement, you can't go anywhere. This is not Jannah. This is the dunya. So take your precautions. Fear Allah in your own homes and within your own selves, and warn your families, and be a good Muslim, and advise those who you can advise if they want to hear it, and keep it moving. That's just what it is. Let's not act like we don't know how to behave in a society now that we come to a Muslim land. Get out of the community mind and get into society mind. The Muslims are still people at the end of the day. Okay? Religiously, you link up with Ahl Sunnah. Religiously, you don't enter into certain conversations with people who are from those jama'at. Don't do it. Just like you wouldn't in America. You don't enter into conversations with the people from those different jama'ats. So the same thing here. Period. That's it. It's a way that you can function. We can function normally. You don't have to be cooped up in the house or can't deal with anybody. I don't know what to do. Act like a normal person. Live your life. Find your tribe. Find people who you can link with, who you like, who you want to deal with. And live your life. That's it. All right. So that's all I have to say. And remember that Hijrah mandate sacrifice. Appreciate you all tuning in as usual, listening to me. I appreciate every last one of you. May Allah grant you all success in your Hijrah journey. And I will see you all in the next video. Inshallah. Ma'as salama.